The snowball question. This is the last one. Yeah, woo. Okay, so the snowball question is number 2 on the second 3.9 worksheet, and it's also somewhere in the 3.9 textbook if you want to look at that and don't have the worksheet on page 245. I think most of these are somewhere on this page. I'm not 100% sure if all of them are. I know the cone one is number 27, which is a page below, and there were the 15 that we did over here, and the plane radar one's on here somewhere, um, and yeah, so most of them are probably on that. But anyway, number 2 on here. If the snowball melts, the surface area decreases at a rate of 1 square centimeter per minute. Find the rate at which the diameter decreases when the diameter is 28 centimeters. Leave pi in your answer. So, let's see, what does it give us? It gives us that the rate at which the surface area of the snowball decreases. So, the rate at which the surface area decreases, we're going to make surface area SA. So, dSA over dt equals equals negative 1 square centimeter per minute. Now, I made it negative. I made it negative because it's decreasing. So when something's decreasing, like it gives you a rate that's decreasing and it gives you the positive rate, when you write the d whatever variable is over dt, you make it negative because a decreasing rate is going to be negative. Now, the answer itself is going to be positive because eventually, we'll get to that in a second. But anyway, let's go back to the question. Find the rate at which the diameter decreases when the diameter is 28 centimeters. So we're gonna find the rate at which the diameter is decreasing. So d over dt. When we're gonna make capital D is diameter. When diameter equals 28 centimeters. So 28 centimeters. Okay, I'm gonna fix my handwriting here. All right. So how are we gonna do this? Well, we need a formula. So we know that the formula for surface area, SA, equals, we don't actually know this. We're probably going to have to look this up. But I remember this because I did the question. Those of you that did the question might remember this too. 4 pi r squared. And just to confirm, what was it? Oh, yeah, surface area of a sphere is in fact 4 pi r squared. Look at us go. Okay, so we have 4 pi r squared. Now, where's d in here? We gotta solve for the derivative of, or this of d. Well, we know that r is equal to d divided by 2 because the r is half of the diameter. The radius is half the diameter. So we actually have SA equals 4 pi d over 2 squared. And I'm going to simplify this even further just so it's easier to do. SA equals 4 pi 1/4 because, well, if you square it, it's going to be d squared over 4. So then you're multiplying d squared by 1/4. So 1/4 times d squared. And now this 1/4 and this 4 are going to cancel out. So now we have SA equals d squared times pi. So now we just take the derivative relative to time so that we can find the rate at which the diameter is decreasing. So we have d over ds. Wait, sorry, no, my bad. But yeah, no, that's right. Never mind. Okay, dsa over dt. And I know the capital D and the lowercase d, I made that confusing. That was stupid of me. I should have made it y, but it's d now, so that's, oh well, equals 2d times d, capital D over dt. We take the derivative of this, and then we just make this, this times pi. Also, yeah, so, okay. Yeah, okay. So now we just divide the 2d and pi so we can solve for d over dt. So d over, is it gonna, okay, thank you. Please, over dt. I'd like for it to focus on the math. Okay. dd over dt is gonna equal dsa, and I switched the sides, by the way, in case that was confusing. And I also have to, okay. dsa over dt, and then that's going to be divided by 2d pi. So 2 times d times pi. And so now we just plug in the values that we have. So we have that, well, we have to solve for dd over dt. And we have dsa over dt is -1. And then we're dividing that by 2 times pi times d, and it gives us that d is 28 centimeters, so that's going to be times 28. And so that's going to be -1 over, let me fix all of that parenthesis, over, and then I think it's 56. Yeah, 2 times 28 is 56, over 56 pi. And so now we have dd over dt equals -1 over 56 pi. However, remember when I said that the final answer is going to be positive. Now, the reason for that is because for the same reason we made this negative, dd over dt is also going to be a negative rate because of the fact that, well, say that it gave us dd over dt. Say that it was like, okay, so the snowball's diameter, so snowball's diameter is decreasing by a rate of 1 over 56 pi, and we were to write this as dd, because so you know it's giving us dd over dt equals, and then it says it's decreasing, so it's gonna be -1 over 56 pi. However, this is saying that it's decreasing by a rate of -1 over 56 pi. What we need to do is we need to make this whole thing negative, which in turn will make it positive. So that's going to be 1 over 56 pi. Now, I know if you were to just make this positive from the start, you wouldn't have to do this. However, I did it like this because I think she would want you to do it like this, and I think it's technically correct. So this is 1 over 56 pi regular centimeters per minute. And I know this is bad, so I'm gonna write it like this. There. That's better. That's second minutes. There we go. And oh, it is. Wait, is it seconds? No, it's minutes. I just wrote seconds in my answer. Okay, that's fine. All right. That's how you do the snowball question. If you're still confused in this one, that's perfectly fine. If the negative thing confused you, just ignore them. Like, don't make this negative, and you won't have to do anything at the end either, and you'll still get my same answer. The reason I did that is just because of the fact that I wanted to it's technically correct, and I wasn't sure if she's going to care if our work shows that. However, even if she did, you would probably still get most of the points for getting that question right anyway, so it's not a big deal. Also, I would, in your final answer, when you answer this, I would write decreasing at 1 over 56 pi. Also, the answer to the question is not 1 over 56 pi. The numbers that it uses in this one on the test are completely different. I remember this one. It's different. So don't write 1 over 56 pi for your answer. Decreasing at 1 over 56 pi centimeters per minute. So basically I'm saying when you write your answer, write the whole decreasing at and then get your answer. Just to make sure that she knows what you're trying to communicate. Anyway, That'll be all. If you still need help with this question, that's fine. Um, if the negatives confused you, just don't do them, and you'll still get the same answer. But if you got the negative thing down, I would definitely do that. It's not necessarily that confusing, but it might be. It depends. Our brains work differently. Some things are less confusing, and some things are more confusing to others. And it's the whole thing, you know. Okay, all right. Let me know if you need help. That's all the questions though. So let me know if you need help with any of them actually. And yeah, we're good. We're done. All right. Goodbye.